Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Welcome back, it's your guy Dan, and today we're going to review the Clash of the Castle. I've got to be honest, I did not expect anything out of this PLE. I was pleasantly surprised. This was one of the best PLEs in a while, and that's saying something for WWE right now. So I like how they're toning down some of these shows. They're doing like a 5-match max, no pre-show matches, just pre-show analysts talking, and then just 5 matches, and then if they do a post-scrum, that's great. If not, like the cut down on pyros on this one. The interest wasn't huge. It looks like they reused the Rumble entry. That's what it looks like. But they didn't really need a big stage. They wanted to pack as much people in this place as they possibly could. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. These guys in Scotland were not as loud as France. I don't give a shit what you say. There was only one match that compared, and that was the final match. But now they have put in a sound meter, and now you can see the decibels inside the building. I'm glad that they're doing this. It's just one of those little things that they're tweaking. And just to be honest with you, Scotland was number 2 in the loudness. I hope they take this meter and put it on every show now, especially over here, because I know in the United States we're going to suck at it. It's just what we do. So that's kind of funny in my opinion. But let's get to it. First match of the night was Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. It was not a bad match. The runtime for this match was around 45 minutes with the entrances, which I thought was pretty good. As an I Quit match, I would expected it to go long, but I know it was going to go this long. And I don't know where people get the hate for Cody Rhodes. Listen, if he was not, all these writers and all these podcasters and all these groups always put out these articles that Cody Rhodes is not making money and all this. Trust me, if he wasn't making them money, he would not be the goddamn champion, okay? So stop your IWC crybabying and just enjoy what we're getting. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. AJ dominated this match majorly. I'm glad that they kind of... Here's the thing. With Cody's never going to be the aggressor and never take fully control in number 1. He's the babyface. The babyface is always supposed to be climbing up. The heels usually take the most heat and the majority of the battery, so that gives something the babyface to overcome. Welcome to wrestling if you've never watched it before. So, at one point in the ring, he went and grabbed, underneath the ring, AJ grabbed a black velvet bag. Normally that's got tacks or Legos or something, just god-awful in it. And people were saying tacks and all this stuff, and he's like, nope, it's something even better. Brings out leg cuffs, which they're going to use as handcuffs. He handcuffs Cody Rhodes, puts his hand behind his back, beats him up with a kendo stick, a couple chair shots, just here and there. He gets out and starts taunting Mama Rhodes, and Mama Rhodes slapped the dog shit out of him like
that's cool
3 or 4 times. Not really, but it was decent. It was a decent look. Pretty much everything went down the way I thought it was going to go down. The only negative I have about this match is this. Cody finally came back. He handcuffed AJ to the bottom rope, went outside, grabbed the stairs. Let's just say this, back and forth through the entire match. They would ask him, the ref would just hand him the mic and be like, do you quit? And they're like, Cody would be like, no. Or AJ Styles, screw you, Cody Rhodes. It's just what it is. But for the match to end like this, I was disappointed in the ending of the match. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Cody's got a thing of stairs at AJ's and he's like, yeah, I quit. It made him look like a punk ass bitch. And I know they're going to have more crossovers with TNA, and I get that, but it was in the match. Cody looked over his mom. She gave him the head nod. He put the chairs down, and then for some reason he picked him back up and hit him with it. So, end of the match. Cody goes up the ramp. He's celebrating. You know, Adriana win. Aim a show. Oh my God, it's Cody Rhodes. You know, his song. And then this happened.
That's cool.
Solo Sikoa just walks and stands beside him. And then just waits for Cody to see him. And then they do the face off. So this right here told me straightforward that WWE is moving away from the AJ drama. And they're going to set up, and you'll see in a second, a couple different scenarios that could go on. What happened was Cody sitting there. They do the little stare down. Solo Sikoa said something to him I couldn't hear. I didn't have the captions on. And then Tangaloa and Tamatanga came out and started. And so they all started beating up on Cody Rhodes. And then, of course, KO and Randy Orton come out. The baby faces get better of them. They all got, and then Cody picks up his title, puts it on his shoulder, and this is the look that we get.
That's cool.
From Randy Orton. So I like what WWE's doing here. They're teasing the Bloodline storyline or the turn of Randy Orton. And I'm for it. I want both of them. I want both of them. Cody is better when he is chasing something. Almost every babyface is better when they're chasing something. So this right here has me hope that, okay, we're out of this little, during the summer, that were usually about WWE, even AEW, the ratings and their storylines are kind of like they trickle down to almost anything because they're just waiting on the SummerSlam and summer events to start. So they're starting to pick it back up. It's just wrestling. But I'm excited about either one of those. The Bloodline 2.0 or the Randy Orton. I'm for it. Bring that shit. I'm ready for that. So that was good on them. So I have to talk about, and I don't have a lot of pictures for these next little bit, but let's talk about this match right here. And I'm glad they went this route on the match. They made it a women's triple threat, but made it traditional tag team rules, which means that only 3 competitors can be in the ring at a time. You have to tag in and out, and you cannot tag someone else's team. You have to tag your own partner. I was like, that's a good way of bringing back old school wrestling. We haven't seen that in a while. And then, so we had the champions Belair and Jade Cargill versus Alpha Fire and Dawn versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks. So, Dawn and Fire are from Scotland. So, of course, everyone thinks that we're going to get so many title changes just because it's Scotland. And good for them. They actually won this match. And honestly, in my opinion, this was a give me. This was a give me to the fans, to that area, for what was the later coming in the middle of the, and later on in the night. And I know during the scrum, Triple H said it wasn't that, it was that. Us as fans knew that this was if they won these right here, we were either all 3 titles on the line against Scottish people. It's going to basically be their night, or they're giving us one and they're going to screw the other 2. So we kind of knew this was coming. The problem with this match is this match suffered the performance. There were 13 botches in this one match. This match ran about, I think it ran, let's see, in my notes, 19 minutes with entrances. So the problem is they had 13 botches and all but one were done by one person, Jade Cargill. I thought this match could have been a lot better. This felt like a filler match to me. This felt like a give me to the fans. The fans were glad about the title win. And it was good because Fire, her mom and dad, now there have been mixed reports, but they did tell us, we found out that both her parents, while visiting her in Florida, got hit by a car. Her mom did not make it. Her dad did, but he's still in the hospital. So this felt like a give me. I don't care what anyone says. It just seemed like a give me. And this woman was in her home country. She was highly emotional. Highly emotional. And granted, she needed to. I have to say this before we go on. Jade Cargill and I'm a Jade Cargill fan. I think she's beautiful. I think she's athletic. I think she is the total package. I am tired of defending Jade Cargill. We always make fun of AEW about their people getting hurt. And I have to say this. If this continues, she's either going to hurt herself or hurt someone else. I am a Jade fan. I am a fanboy of hers. But we cannot continually overlook this consistency of her botches. Belair carries this woman throughout the entire match of every match. She's not ready. I get it. She was signed by Triple H because look at her. But here's something that I'm going to say, and it's going to probably upset a few people. Tony Khan and AEW used Jade Cargill correctly. They used her very limited, but they used her in a part where she was benefiting herself and the company. WWE bought a name. They bought somebody from AEW. Yeah, they liked her. They looked at her like, oh my God, look at her. She looks amazing. But I don't think that when they signed her, they knew how much problems and how green she really was in the ring. The translation, what we were told, was Jade will come up when she thinks she's ready. That shit needs to end. I'm sorry. She's going to hurt somebody. She needs to go back to NXT. She needs to hone her craft, get her timing down right, and then come up when they think that she's ready. Don't get me wrong. She's a total package. She could be a great one. She needs more time in development. I'm sorry. She does. I don't care. I'm a big fan of hers, but she's going to end up hurting herself or hurting someone else. And I cannot, on good conscience, just respect that. Out of respect for the business, her fellow competitors, her teammates, she should take herself down to NXT. That or they need to release her. Jade's not here to wrestle. Jade doesn't give a fuck about wrestling. She said it many times before. This is an avenue that she is taking to get somewhere else. She knows that she can use this as a vessel, a vehicle, to do other things. She's not winning any body lifting competitions because obviously she's not natural. I hate to say that, but you can tell a little bit of it. She's got great genetics. I just, in good conscience, as a fan, and as someone who cares about this funny, silly shit we call wrestling, she's not ready. I hate to say it. I'll stop. She just needs to go down. I was not happy about this match. This match was the worst match of the night. It went, to me, it was too short, but I'm glad it went that short because of the whole Cargill incident. We had a good moment with these two. The place erupted. I love these long shots because now you can see all the WWE haters how big and how full this arena really was. That should just tell you something. Yeah, this is the hard camera, but at the same time, we saw every angle during this PLE, and it was packed, and you could tell it was packed. They deserved it to a point. They're a good tag team, but to me, I just felt like this was a give me to the fans. A give me to Fire because of her parents. And I just wish that this lady right here on screen will take herself out of the main roster and put herself back down to NXT to get better, to benefit herself and everyone. So I'll move off of that. I'm tired of talking about her. I was actually fucking pissed. So next we got the Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and this was a decent match. It wasn't bad. I expected more from these two. To me, this was just a vessel to move the Chad Gable Otis story along. Sami Zayn is just there. The belt is just a prop. It was a decent match, but it wasn't that awesome. The crowd was into it. They love Sami. It's kind of hard not to love Sami Zayn. But Sami won. There was no fuckery from Otis or Maxine. A few things is Chad Gable told her to hit him with the IC title. She refused. She got hurt, put in the middle. Otis picked her up and walked out on Chad. Pretty much that was it. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a match. I mean, the timing on this one was, 22 minutes? And this, to me, was not even about Sami Zayn. This was about Chad Gable and Otis. That's the real story. And that's fine. But at the same time is Sami can get people over because he's over. But at the same time, Chad's already over with the fans. And now Otis is way over now. So we got Sami winning, which is the right call for now. You're going to have Sami's going to lose that belt, even though at the end of the match he said, "You're done" to Chad. Chad's going to make it where he gets another title shot. It's either that but they need to go ahead and pull the trigger on this whole Otis, Chad, Gable, Alpha Academy / the Creed brothers as soon as they can. People are starting to lose interest. People love Otis. People love Chad. People love Sami. I think they could still go another 3 matches, but if they draw it out too long, they're just going to lose interest, and people are not going to care about either turn. So, the next one, in my opinion, speaking of losing interest, during this match during the interest we got another Uncle Howdy thing. And listen, I am a huge Bray Wyatt fan. I've got every one of his action figures. I've got everything. I was one of the Firefly. I love Bray Wyatt to death. I like the story that they've been telling with the Wyatt 6 or this new faction that's coming up. But here's the thing. People are starting to lose interest. You can actually feel the pulse of a flatline coming. If they wait too much longer on this, people are going to lose interest and they're not going to want to watch it. I get it's long-term storytelling, but we've been doing this since Bray Wyatt's death, and they've been doing this for a very long time. Even before WWE they were doing it on YouTube. Someone needs to hit the motherfucking gas before this train derails. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good for them if they keep on with this. So I hope tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw we see them. I pray to God we see them, because if we don't, people are going to start losing interest, and I hate that, because it deserves to be. It's a story that deserves to be told. So next we got the Piper and Bayley. What was weird about this match? The crowd. This was the moment where the crowd got tired. The interest for Piper, they wasn't as loud as you thought they would be for someone who's from their hometown. Even Bayley's entrance, she was like begging people as she was coming out, "Come on, you can get louder than this." She was trying her damnedest to get these people on their feet. You could just hear the flatline. It got where you could hear every little thing in that arena. But it changed. Halfway through the match, it did change, and I was glad to it. And honestly, I loved this match. There was 2 parts. I mean, it was a 24-minute match. It gave me Queen of the Ring Nia Jax feels when Piper Nivens, she did 2 swantons. One was a front flip off the apron to a standing Bayley. And thank God for Bayley. If she didn't have the yams that she had and was able to absorb some of this blunt force trauma, she'd be fucking dead.
That's cool.
But it happened twice. Once out of the ring, and then one into the ring, she just did a flat back senton onto Bayley. it gave me the Nia Jax vibes. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were gonna have to do a fucking eulogy for Bayley. But Piper did this move and it looked fucking amazingly sick, and it looked like it did damage, but you could tell it was the safest move she did. It's called the Piper Driver. It looked great. It looked great. We got Chelsea Green at ringside. She kept trying to interfere. Bayley stomped on her hand. She got up on the apron. She put her hands on Charles Robinson, the referee. He threw her out. Then, about 3 minutes later, we got Nacho Chelsea Libre. She ran down the ring wearing a Rey Mysterio mask, which was fucking funny looking, but at the same time, good for her. She's a comedic character, and she's doing very good at what she's doing. Piper doing pretty good. To me, there was a little build up for this match, but at the same time, I wanted more from this. And honestly, we all knew that Bayley was not going to lose this match. Bayley's not dropping that title until Nia Jax. We know it's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner or later. It's going to be Nia Jax. No one's taking this belt off of Bayley unless Bayley gets hurt. So the match went about 24 minutes, was really good. But honestly, this match did nothing for Bayley. Nothing positive from this match came from Bayley's win. This was for Piper, and it helped elevated her because she did a great job. I was very impressed with her in-ring work, and it was better than most, but at the same time, for a big girl, she can move, but you could tell she was highly emotional during the match because she was at home. She got caught on screen crying a few times. This was after the fact. I know her husband was in attendance. I think her parents were in attendance, so it was very emotional for her. Yeah, this is one of them. I was like, no, she's gonna die. Look at Charles Robinson's face, right? That says it all, bro. He was like, we're gonna have to fucking have a body bag. It was horrible. Bayley drop kicked her a few times. Bayley actually didn't look great in this match. I'm sorry. I didn't mind the match. I actually enjoyed the match. But this match was just a in-betweener. Some people will not like it. I actually liked it just because of the hometown girl getting her flowers, but not winning the match. So I thought it was pretty decent. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. Then comes the end of the night. The last match on the card was Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew's entrance was amazing. They had the bagpipes group come down, and it got fucking loud in there. People were going fucking insane, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was loud. You could hear it through the TV. It was just the atmosphere, and you could tell Drew was emotional about it because he had to psych himself up so he wouldn't get emotional. He kept doing the shaking, and you see him put his head down and shake, like he's shaking that get out of my head kind of thing. Fighters know what I'm talking about. He was psyching himself up so he wouldn't be emotional, and they cheered. And this entrance was fucking long as shit, but I did not care because it was good for Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest came out. He didn't have a special entrance. He got booed all the way down. It wasn't that bad. So the match started. It was back and forth here and there. And you can say what you want about Damian Priest. You can say what you want about Drew McIntyre. Some people say that Damian Priest cannot wrestle. Go fuck yourself. The guy has leaps and bounds performed way better than ever. If you notice, when he first got the championship to now, he's got a swagger about him. He's starting to get into his flow, and it's showing his work because he hardly ever botches until he botches. What really happened, and we'll get to it, as we got to talk about it. The match was great. By far, perfect match to me. There was a botch, but here's the thing. What happened is Drew was on the outside of the apron on the floor, and Damian does this move. He's done it forever. It's been in his arsenal. He'll run. His right leg will be on the rope, and he'll jump over and do like a swanton almost, and land on him. Do a front flip and land on him. For some reason, I think either his ankle gave way or he slipped just a hair, and it involved it, and he caught the top rope and that rope at the same time, and it did what you see right here. It looked fucking nasty, and as tall as this dude is and how big he is, you can see where his head is. It could have been bad. He could have broke some ribs. He could have broke his nose. He could have broke an arm. Fucking hit his head on anything. His leg could have snapped. He could have tore like that. It was a nasty, nasty botch. But I don't want everyone to say that someone deserved to get hurt, because he did. But this made this match so much better. These two guys are so professional. They turned a negative into a positive and told a mini story inside of this story. These guys went all out. And let me tell you, this was my match of the night. This match was amazing. Even with the botch. Almost to the point they made this thing work so well that you would thought that maybe it was a planned botch. But it wasn't. Damian Priest, his moveset suffered dearly to this. He had to work around a lot of the pain. But here's another thing. Another guy gets hurt in the ring and he will not stop. He keeps going. You haven't seen that in a long time, and then you saw Cody Rhodes do it. Now you're seeing Damian Priest and all these other people who are getting hurt that continue in the match. These are some rough motherfuckers. They're tough. It was a great match. The moveset was hindered, but they told a great story. And the way that they told the story was amazing. Everyone predicted that Drew was going to win this match. But if you have a brain and you know wrestling, we all knew that Drew was not going to win this match. Period. The end. So, another mini story inside of a story. What happened was Damian Priest was on the ropes, or Drew was on the ropes, and the referee for some reason was on the fucking apron outside the ropes, and they hit him. He jumped, hit the barricade, and went down. Drew hit him with a claymore, went to go pin him, and kudos for WWE. No music hit, nothing happened like that. They kept the dude's face off the camera, but you can see a head bobbing, running to the ring, and you saw from the back angle a referee slide in and count 1, 2, and then he stopped. By this time, we know who the fuck was in that referee shirt. I am a complete Punk glazing mark. I love Punk to death. I've followed him since Ring of Honor. He is my guy. He is one of my top 5 wrestlers of all time. You can hate it. You can love it. I don't give a fuck. I love CM Punk. I like him in the ring. I like him on the microphone. I think he's the total package of a wrestler. I'm sorry. Get over it. But he looks at Drew and says, he got his shoulder up. It's a 2 count. And that pissed Drew the fuck off. He grabs Punk by the throat, pushes him to the turnbuckle. Punk kicks him in the nuts.
That's cool.
And then gets out of the ring. Damian Priest hits his finisher move. By this time, the ref jumps back in the ring and counts 1, 2, 3. The place went ape shit. You could hear it. There was a ton of boos and a ton of cheers. CM Punk has done it again. A lot of people don't understand this. This is the story of CM Punk and Drew. This is a match that has to happen, but it's not going to be one match. We're going to have a whole summer of these two fuckers beating the shit out of each other, and I fucking love it. They don't need the title, because if Drew actually, to be honest, if Drew actually won this title, he would drop it the next pay-per-view to Gunther. Then that's another short title reign. Nobody wants that for Drew. Whoever's holding the World Heavyweight title, Gunther's going to fucking drop them at the next PLE. It's going to happen. So, that happened, and then just a lot of fuckery happens. You know, Drew's pissed. Punk goes to the back. I mean, he does his little fan service, takes pictures with people. Drew gets up. He is fucking livid. After the show goes off, they show how CM Punk got the shirt and ran down to the ring, and then they showed Drew McIntyre. He grabbed the referee by the throat and was talking shit to him. He ran up to Corey Graves and grabbed him by the fucking shirt and was shaking and yelling at him, and Graves was like doing this. Then he goes up to Wade Barrett, and he doesn't touch Wade Barrett. They're buddies, by the way. They used to be roommates. They used to be best friends, too. So, Wade Barrett was pissed, okay? I mean, I have the tweet online that I'll bring up in a second, but right when the post-show started to happen, and they cut to Wade Barrett. So first, when they got the 2 tag title champions, they talked. Then Damian came out, and then this was a sneak peek. Like they snuck him in, and after he did his little thing, basically, Punk answered a few questions. We'll get back to that. Wade Barrett said this: "This is the biggest screw job in history. It's just beating Bret Hart's. That is the new number 1. This has a huge shadow cast upon the entire industry, thanks to the actions of CM Punk. CM Punk needs to be fired by WWE management. For once, show some balls, do what you're supposed to do. This is a guy who is not medically cleared to be in contact with any wrestler. He now has materially affected the outcome of 2 heavyweight championship matches. You guys need to do something about it, restore some honor, some integrity to this industry." Well, Wade Barrett, I got some bad news for you. You can go fuck yourself, because this was all lovely to me. I loved every bit of it. So Punk sits down, goes to the presser. He's asked a few questions. The funniest shit ever is he comes out with another box. He said, "Anybody want some donuts? Sound familiar? Look familiar?" Basically, he was asked a bunch of questions. He talked to it. Basically, he said that Drew McIntyre will never be a champion as long as he's in the company with him. And I'm fucking here for it. It was hilarious to me. Just because I'm a CM Punk fan, I'm sitting here dying laughing during this whole presser. Just because it was just CM Punk being CM Punk. And during the presser, a bunch of things were asked. He finally asked, he reiterated what he said on the Earl Owani show about how he received a message thanking him he needed to be here and he needed to see the culture that he helped bring to the WWE. Now, a lot of people are going to be pissed about that, but honestly, he is the catalyst for that. He helped with that. Is he the main reason? No. Is he a reason? Absolutely. I mean, you'd be a fucking moron if you said different. Another funny thing is they asked Triple H the same questions. He doubled down on Punk's comments. He's pretty much said he's a pleasure to have in the locker room. He's a pleasure to have around everyone. He helps out the guys. He helps training. He's been in the back. All types of stuff. So basically, Triple H was glazing about CM Punk. These two are new besties. These two are going to have friendship bracelets soon. Watch. But he is happy that CM Punk is back in the WWE. And you know what? We all know why. They may not get along, they may get along. But the real reason is money. CM Punk brings his company money. Good or bad attention, everyone talks about this guy. Love him or hate him, he still makes money. Get over it. It's just the way it is. But he did say something was funny as hell. He said that this man traveled this many miles just to get involved, and to me that was fucking hilariously done by Triple H. About CM Punk holding a grudge, and then he made a comment. He's like, "Man, this guy, he's eating donuts and muffins and all this other stuff." He's like, he might have a sugar problem. That might make when he's cranky. Maybe if he changed his diet, he wouldn't be so cranky. And it was fucking hilarious. It was, because as soon as he said that, this is what popped into our minds. 100% fucking hilarious. Hilarious. And he even did like he did on the AEW presser. It was fucking phenomenal to me. Oh my God, I loved it so much. So much. This motherfucker, man. He makes me happy. So I'll fucking work with children. All right. So here's my thing. Drew and Punk don't need the title. They're going to have a great feud. You're going to love it. Drew fans are going to be happy. Punk fans are going to be happy. Unless one of them gets hurt, which I know everyone's going to say CM Punk is going to get hurt again. But, dude, come on. That shit right there is fucking funny. It's fucking funny. In the words of Carlito.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. My overall, this is the tweet. It was done by someone who calls himself CM Punk. CM Punk does not have social media. But that was it, guys. That was it on that front. And yeah, it was a good thing. I enjoyed it. My ranking for this, okay, so the first match was AJ and Cody. I'm gonna give that a 7. It was a damn good match. Yeah. Match number 2, the tag team champions for the women. It's getting a fucking 3, and that's out of respect for the other competitors besides Jade Cargill. I love Jade Cargill, but she's hurting people and herself. Sami Zayn and Chad, I'm giving it a 7. It was a decent match. Wasn't my cup of tea. I expected more out of this, but at the same time, it was not a bad match. It wasn't. The Piper Niven and Bayley, I'm gonna give it a 5. It was not a bad match. I enjoyed it. It was pretty decent. Wasn't match of the night. The last match was the match of the night for me. I'm giving it a fucking 9. A fucking 9. It told a great story even without Punk. When Priest got hurt and they worked that into the story on the fly, that made that match mean so much more. So I agree. It is a 9 for me. It is match of the night. The shittiest match was the tag team champion match. What could have been better? A lot of things could have been better, but a lot of things could have been a lot worse too. But that's my review of Clash at the Castle. I was going to do a prediction video, but I was involved on a call-in show the other day, and I gave them my answers, and I'm the one that says I would love to see CM Punk be the referee in this match. I was kind of right, but kind of not right, so there you go. All right, guys. Thank you for coming and joining me tonight. It's been a long day, and I enjoyed this. I actually watched this PLE 3 times, and I watched the presser like 4 times, just so I could make sure that I didn't miss any little bit that I wanted to get out there. I know this is a little longer video than most, so I'm sorry, but that was my review. Keep coming back to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out what we got. I just loaded up a toy haul. I'm not big on doing those online. It's just one of my weird hobbies, but it's there if you want to look at it. Just some of the things I picked up. There's a couple other reviews for one PLE. Like I said, we're just starting out. We're looking at all these things. We're trying to get our stride going. And it takes a long time to edit these videos. So I'm trying to get these out as fast as possible. But thank you for coming back. And as always, be good, people. See you next time.
That's cool.